Roger Johnston.
All right, you are charged with second-degree murder from April 22nd of this year. Counsel, the state's asking for $1 million bond, I think.
That's correct, Your Honor. Before bond, I'd like to make a PC argument.
Okay.
All right, so I'm reading this interim complaint, and it shows reasonable suspicion, but not PC to hold him. Mr. Johnson was the reporting party and was administering CPR. Now, from the scanned information we have about the autopsy, the manner of death was undetermined. Mr. Johnson reported that she might have fallen, or that she did fall twice, including once off a ladder. We do know that he was performing CPR, so we don't know if the manner was actually falling with maybe a combination of CPR, which of course can be very traumatic, especially to the abdomen.
Can I say something?
No, you may not. So there's very little in the way of, well, there's nothing as far as manner of death. Cause of death, they're attributing to blunt force, as well as lacerations. We don't have any further details on the extent of the lacerations, where they were specifically, and how much those might have bled. In addition, police interviewed a female associate of Barbara who apparently told him that he would sometimes get violent with girlfriends before. This female associate is not identified. We don't know at all who she is, or if the police verified this information with anyone else, or whether this female associate was herself vetted in any kind of way. I'd ask the female associate's statement not be contributing to the totality of the circumstances that may or may not happen here. Finally, there's nothing that the medical examiner said as far as the manner of death could be consistent or not consistent with. He did not say it could be not consistent with falling in combination with some kind of CPR. There's RS here. It doesn't add up to probable cause.
Okay. Mr. Terrace, did you want to say anything?
Yes, Judge. As far as the female associate, I think the court can see from the defendant's pretrial services workup that he does have history of domestic violence, aggravated assault, serious physical injury. The story makes absolutely no sense. There's supposedly 2 different falls and then apparently some sort of sexual contact that she dies in the middle of. That's not consistent with her injuries. There is probable cause here for the defendant to be charged with second-degree murder.
Yes, I find based on the injuries and the opinions of the detectives and where the blood was and the doctor that treated the victims and the inconsistent stories, I find enough for probable cause to go forward on this case. So then, counsel, did you want to argue about the bond request? Okay. Mr. Terrace, did you want to say anything?
Yes, Judge. As far as the female associate, I think the court can see from the defendant's pretrial services workup that he does have history of domestic violence, aggravated assault, serious physical injury. The story makes absolutely no sense. There's supposedly 2 different falls and then apparently some sort of sexual contact that she dies in the middle of. That's not consistent with her injuries. There is probable cause here for the defendant to be charged with second-degree murder.
Yes, I find based on the injuries and the opinions of the detectives and where the blood was and the doctor that treated the victims and the inconsistent stories, I find enough for probable cause to go forward on this case. So then, counsel, did you want to argue about the bond request?
So he's purporting to me that the most he could bond himself out was $2,500. Stop. I understand, given the nature of this case, $2,500 is not going to happen. The state has recommended $1 million. That might as well be 50 billion. 99% of the people in this community can't post $1 million bond. It's a de facto no bond hold. I'd ask for a bond of $500,000.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent the defendant. I'm going to order him not to be in contact with the family of the victim. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms, no hold him on $1 million bond, and the preliminary hearing will be July 20th at 1:30.
Gillespie.